Okay, I can't believe we've got yet another sale. It's like every 2 weeks, this seems to be the trend, and I am not complaining, man. That is kick-ass. So here we go. I'm just going to get into it. This is starting today and going on until September 28th at 3 a.m. If you see this video the day that this is posted, you still have about a few hours left of the other sale that was going on 2 weeks ago. And there are some titles there that I think you might be interested in. So if you haven't seen that video, absolutely jump on that, see that first, and then go on this sale because you've got 2 weeks for this one. And to kick things off immediately, I have to tell you the best title that is on sale, and you have to get it if you don't own it already. And this is Resident Evil 8. It is 50% off. That is the best I've ever seen it on sale. So I don't know when the next time will be. I assumed Thanksgiving, but now that it's 50% off now, I'm not too sure. It might be Boxing Week or something like that. So if you haven't played it, you don't own it, absolutely get it. You own a PS VR2. I don't think you'll be disappointed. You might be a little scared, but man, it's so awesome. And it's totally different than playing on flat screen using your actual individual hands. They've literally customized the game to include VR mechanics. On top of that, you can get the gold edition, which I didn't even know that existed. There is DLC that does exist. I knew about this, but I actually don't care for it because it's not in VR. I know this sounds really weird. I'm totally digging the plot and stuff, and I know that the DLC does continue on with it. So if you would be willing to play that in flat screen, maybe you do want to get the gold edition. But first, let's talk about Resident Evil 8, just the actual standard edition, 50% off. It is $25, normally $50. Whereas the gold edition here is $36, normally $60. So it's a 40% savings there. So you have 2 weeks to decide, but nonetheless, hands down, that's the first thing I had to talk about. If you're going to see anything in this video, Resident Evil 8. And the second thing, even though I mentioned the gold edition, there's another Resident Evil that is out, and it's number 4. I've never played it. I know that everybody's talking about it, saying it is 10 out of 10. To see so many critics literally say 10 out of 10 out of a remake of a game that was like maybe a couple decades ago. What? I have to get it. I do not want to see any trailers for it. I totally love jumping into a game knowing that it's already going to be incredible and then just experience it. So if you want to grab this now, knowing that the upgrade is free, it is on sale. And that is normally $80. It's on for $52.80. So you're saving 34%. And there is a bundle for this as well, which again, I have no idea what the actual story is or what's going on. The bundle for that is $63. Normally that's $90. So you save 30% there if you get the bundle. So now that I got the Resident Evil off my chest, I say everybody has to have it. If you own a PSVR 2, absolutely. I do think it's a must-own, like Gran Turismo. I wouldn't say Horizon is a must-own title, but for me it's Pavlov, for sure. And now No Man's Sky, actually. So those 4 are absolute musts, hands down. Tetris Effect Connected. I do love Tetris Effect. I haven't played the connected version where you're online with people, but I always enjoy playing on the old school Game Boy one-on-one, and I hope it's the same thing, where what you take away from your blocks actually goes on to the other players. That was a really neat competitive thing, man. That was awesome. So I haven't played that yet. I've only played some of the single player, did one video on it, just like the first, I don't know, part of the journey mode, just to give you a flavor if you liked it. But there is something unique to Tetris Effect. They did warp the audio around the gameplay. So a lot of you may not know this, but when you're playing the game and you're hitting the buttons, you'll hear the sound effects, but the actual background music and instruments come to life when you're playing it through the game. It's hard to describe, but absolutely it's a sensory experience because in PSVR 2, unlike PSVR 1, everything is very clear. PSVR 1 to me was neat, but it was very blurry. I did not think it was, what the trailer was showing. Whereas when you're watching the trailer now, yeah, you'll see that better in 4K HDR, life size. It's awesome. I do absolutely want to recommend it. It is a $53 game, which I'm surprised by. It's on for $40, so it's 25% off, but yeah, for $40 even, I'm not going back to it for $40. There's so many other games I played that I have gone back for $20, $30, $40. Tetris is nice to have in my library, but I can't say it's worth that amount of money, even though there's a lot of replayability. And man, if you're a Tetris addict, then hands down, yeah, go grab it for sure. I think it's the best version, the coolest version ever, actually. So awesome game, just seems a little too expensive even at that sale for $40, and it's normally $53.50 or whatever. The next game, Trip. I am absolutely interested in it. I don't know if it's a game or an experience. Based on the trailer that I'm seeing, it's, teaching you how to breathe and meditate, and then you're tripping out basically what you're seeing on screen. I don't know what replayability or therapeutic value or addiction I'll get to that sort of thing, right? And it's an $80 game on for $68 right now, so it's only minus 15% off. However, if you are a PlayStation Plus member, and I'm so happy that somebody in the comment section actually mentioned this last time in my other sale video, I should be speaking to PlayStation Plus discounts as well. In this case, it is 15% off, but if you are a PlayStation Plus member, which most of us are, I think, it's 30% off. So normally $68, but PlayStation Plus members, it's going to be $56. Again, it's an $80 game, $56 if you're a PlayStation Plus member. Can't recommend it, never played it before. I want to play it. To me, it doesn't look like a game. It looks more like an experience that would be fun and relaxing, but maybe a lot of people could benefit from that. Maybe that's what we do need in our lives right now. I do find No Man's Sky does that for me. I've mentioned it a few times in the comments that it does have such a therapeutic value to it. It really does. It's incredible. On to the next. Les Mills, I believe that's how it's pronounced, Body Combat. I feel like this is Box VR from PSVR1, just renamed and with better graphics. I could be wrong. There's some, kick mechanics or using your knees, like Muay Thai kickboxing style from what I'm seeing. But I don't know. I haven't owned it. I loved Box VR. I'm all about using the body, and it was a lot of fun. And man, did you ever get a workout in? But it felt really cool to actually, punch, duck, dodge, all that other stuff. It's different from like a boxing game. It's hard to describe, even though it's called Box VR. So Les Mills Combat is normally a $40 game. It's on for $32 right now, 20% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus, it's 30% off, and it's $28 instead of the $32 discount that's normal. The other one I'm going to mention is called Before Your Eyes. I think this is a narrative experience. It looks like a cartoon that you're just watching. From what I understand, what you're looking at and when you blink will affect how fast the game goes by. Yeah, it looks like more of an experience game for sure. I don't see a lot of replayability in that, and that might be cool to show to somebody. Just a personal opinion, and I have not played this. It might be cool to show somebody who's not into VR, has never experienced VR, and get to just sit back, relax, and check it out versus being thrown into something scary or using controllers they're not familiar with. I could be wrong, but if anybody can speak to that Before Your Eyes, if you do play video games on the regular and you got this game, is it worth it? Currently, the price is $15. It's normally a $20 game, so we're talking 25% off, but is it worth that? I'm not too sure. I think it won some awards or nominated for some awards. I'm not 100% about that. It got a lot of coverage in the media when it came out during launch and stuff. I think it was during launch. Anyway, on to the next, Galaxy Kart. Oh man, I do want this game. I have since I heard about it. When I started listening to the reviews about it, the negative that stood out to me was there's not enough tracks. It's fun to play with friends and stuff, but just wasn't enough content. And I'm like, oh man, that tells you that people are craving more of something that they enjoy. I think there's a lot of bugs and stuff too that they had to work out. But I've heard that there's going to be a patch coming out and they're going to release it so you can use your steering wheel along with your VR controller. So man, that's really neat. So if you love Mario Kart, that's what the comparison is here. It is like a knockoff Mario Kart. I will be getting it. It is now $23, normally $27, so that's 15% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, again, check this out, 40% off, not 15. So the game is $16.20. This is all Canadian, by the way. So normally 27, really it's 16.20. That's awesome. They haven't released the patch yet for the wheel, but from what I understand, it's coming very soon. The other one after this is Cave Digger. This is a PSVR1 game. I did play it. I thought it was okay. I mean, it was fun. It was fun. You're just chipping away at stuff and you're collecting some gems, and I believe you can move around a little bit, and then there's this track underground. But Cave Digger 2 is out. I did purchase it. I have not played it yet. I bought it like a month or two ago. I feel like it might have been on sale already. I'm not too sure. I can't remember. Right now, if you haven't owned it, it's $675 instead of $1350, so it is 50% off. Cave Digger 2 is $1675. That's normally $33.50. Again, at 50% off. So if I were to talk about the two games, I'm assuming Cave Digger 2, just from everything I'm hearing, it's multiplayer as well. And you can use guns and stuff, and there's enemies running at you. Whereas before, I don't remember that. I just remember having to mine stuff, collect it, and do it under a certain amount of time. It wasn't that memorable, to be honest with you, but it wasn't bad. Like, it was actually kept me going back to finish it. I did get the trophies, I believe. I don't know if I platinumed it or if there was a platinum. I would assume Cave Digger 2 is much better. So if you're going to get one or the other and you haven't played either or, I'll have to cover it. I do own it again, and I will play it. This next game, Altair Breaker. Altair Breaker. I've only heard shit about this, to be honest with you, how it's not fun and feels kind of wonky. So for a $40 game, it's now on for $28. It's 30% off. I haven't gone back to check to see if there's any news on this game, but nobody's talking about it anymore. Right from the get-go, I think this might have been one of the maybe the worst reviewed games. The next game is called Humanity. This is a flat screen game with a VR add-on or mod. This is $32 right now, normally $40. It's 20% off, but if you have PlayStation Plus Extra, which I do not, I think it's part of your library, you can play it. So Humanity looks like almost like a Lemmings game, if you remember that. I don't know if any of you know what that is, but utilizing, these drones essentially, or NPCs, and telling them what to do, where to go, hitting switches as other things are going on. But from what I understand, Humanity is really unique in that the community has developed their own levels for it. I think it's uploaded for free. So can't really speak to Humanity, just seen the trailers for it, know that it gained a lot of popularity, and then I haven't heard much about it afterwards. But it could be your thing. It could. Totally. The next game is Cities VR. This game is, to me, SimCity, just the next edition kind of thing. And I know Cities has been around for a long time. Skylines and all that other stuff. I have not played any of them. I love SimCity. Love SimCity 2000. Did not play SimCity 3000. I stopped playing after 2000, I think. This is a long time ago, man. But to see it in VR, I was like, okay, I'm getting it. And I did. And when it launched, I didn't have a lot of titles at the time. And man, I spent 45 minutes reading the options, which is not a negative. I was like, this is SimCity in VR, literally. So I was overwhelmed. That would be the word to describe it. If you're into SimCity, I would think this game is your game. I mean, it doesn't look incredible. It looks okay. I do know that PSVR2 can do way better, absolutely. But for the game itself, it looks like a lot of fun. I just overwhelmed. I started building some roads. I'm like, well, you know what? I do really want to play Pavlov and, Hubris, GT7, all these other games that just, you're thinking about as you're playing. So it's not that it's not a good game. I want to be able to play Cities VR, but have like a day to play it and just learn it and take the time. I definitely want the time to do it, just it's not right now, but I do own it. So the game is $32, normally $40. It is 20% off. It looks like a lot of fun. I can't recommend it yet because I haven't put enough time into it, but it totally looks like a SimCity game, if you know what I'm talking about. Next we're going to talk about is Unplugged Air Guitar. Interesting. So I loved Rock Band and I loved Rock Band 3 with the pro guitar mode because it actually taught you how to play songs on real guitar, believe it or not. Incredible. Back in the day. Now they reverted back to the original formula, and it was a lot of fun, but after you get teased with pro stuff, it's just like, oh, you feel like you're going backwards. So Unplugged Air Guitar, it did interest me. I'm like, ooh, interesting. I use my hands and I make the motions, but unlike the Quest version, which I think would be better just based on what I'm hearing and seeing. In the Quest version, I do think it just recognizes your fingers individually. Whereas this, you were using the touch sensitivity on the grip button and the trigger. So I think it's 2 buttons it recognizes. I could be wrong about this, but I do believe the Quest has more functionality. Don't know. Maybe the Quest version doesn't track as well. I don't know, but after looking at it, I'm kind of like, Whereas now, it is $13.50, normally $33.50. So this is 60% off, and for $13, man, if I played that for a couple hours, that might be worth it. I mean, if you have a lot of fun, you feel like you're rocking out for a second, that's therapy too, right? So, that now interests me at 60% off. I don't know if it'll be worth it, but not 35, I can't imagine, or 33.50, but 13.50, ooh, maybe it's possible. But I'll have to try it. Next one is Res Infinite. I did not play the original game on PS2. I just played the VR version on PSVR 1 for a little bit, and the first level I was like, ooh, why does everybody like this game? I did not understand. What's this cult classic they're talking about? And then it got re-released on PSVR 2, and I thought, maybe it's a sharpness thing. It's got eye tracking. Looks a little cooler, even though I know it's the same game. So I gave it a shot. Played all the way through it. I actually posted a video on this. I think the whole playthrough, the entire story. I cannot recommend this game at $30. That's the sale price. It's normally $40, so 25% off. But it was a cool experience. It was neat to play. It was neat. So I am glad I played it. I can't recommend spending 30 bucks on it. I'm sorry, I just can't. Like, I know a lot of people love it, and I know a lot of people cherish it. But it was cool to play. Absolutely. Will I go back? There is stuff for me to do for sure. I don't know. You know what? I think I'll probably forget about it. Like a lot of titles, truly. You know, something else comes out and then you put your time to that. But it was worth playing. Hopefully that'll be a free game on PlayStation Plus later down the road or something. That would be cool. The next game has been around for a long time, but this is the deluxe edition, okay? So after the fall, deluxe edition's on sale. Not the complete edition or the standard edition. It's just whatever it is. It's only the deluxe edition. So I believe this is a 4-player co-op game in the vein of Left 4 Dead, from what I understand. It's now $24. It's normally $53.50. So it's 55% off, which is an awesome deal. But again, the deluxe edition, you have to go all out. And get this, I had to reread it because there's a complete edition and a deluxe edition. And on the deluxe edition, in the bottom left-hand corner, it says premium edition. And it is more expensive than the regular one, the complete one. Just a little confusing for me. I would think complete edition means it's complete, and deluxe might have been like the middle one after or something, but hey, whatever. So yeah, $24 now, normally $53.50. That's 55% off. I think a lot of people either love or hate it. I haven't played it. I want to, and I might, but I don't see myself getting this yet. Not yet. And then we've got Seeker My Shadow. It's a $40 game on for 20 bucks right now. So we're talking 50% off. I mean, I saw the trailer. I don't really know what to say. I don't really know what the game's about. Yeah, you know, I could just make shit up, but truly, no idea. Maybe something else will grab me, or somebody will talk about this in the comment section and say, yep, I bought the game, man, and it is awesome. Please do if you have. Or if you have bought the game and it's not awesome, let us all know, man. Like, we're here to help each other out, please. That's kind of the point of this as well. Synth Riders. This game I do really enjoy. I do not have all the DLC for it. I was, happy playing with what I had, what they gave me. But the complete music collection is on sale. It is $100.11. Normally $133.50. So it's 25% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, it's 30% off, which means your cost is $93.50. So yeah, that's the complete music collection. I have no idea how many songs extra you're getting from the standard, but I'm assuming a lot based on that price. I hope so. So out of all these games here, because I own Resident Evil 8, I mean, I'm recommending that to you if you don't have it for PSVR2. And for all of you that just got your PSVR2, man, that is so awesome. I'm super happy for you. And if anything, that's why I'm hammering this in. If you don't have it, get it for sure. 25 bucks. Again, Resident Evil 8. The gold edition, I wouldn't worry about. I mean, I don't care about the flat screen stuff. If you do, you might want to get that, considering the story does continue, I think, I won't get into it. But yeah, there's more storyline to it. There is right after. But that's flat screen. So if you just care about the VR like me, and that's it, 25 bucks. Resident Evil 4, I don't think that'll be on sale again. Maybe Christmas time. I'm not too sure, but this is the first time I've seen this game on sale, and I think it released in May, I believe. Could be March. Probably May. So yeah, 34% off. I recommend getting that. I'm going to try and get that myself and just wait until, the VR version comes out. I'm assuming it's coming out this year. I hope so. They have not said that. But other than that, man, it might be on sale again. It would be on Boxing Week, I would think, like almost all games. So those, the Resident Evil ones for sure. Galaxy Kart. That's the one I'll be getting. Knowing that they're going to be releasing it, a patch for the steering wheel, even if they didn't, truly, for 16 bucks, just knowing that it's Mario Kart in VR, even if it had just the 4 or 5 tracks that they advertised in the beginning, and apparently they're really good, I would get it for 16 bucks and 75 cents. Cities VR, because I own it. I mean, if you're a SimCity fan, absolutely, I think you would dig it. I haven't heard of any other sim type city game that's coming out, or Cities VR2 or anything like that. So this could totally do it for you. Absolutely, there's plenty to do in that game. When I say that, I mean there's other VR games that you'll buy for 30 bucks and then you're done after 5-6 hours. you won't be done after 5 or 6 hours with Cities VR. You'll just be starting your block and then getting things going, getting stuff moving. That game would last a long time if you're into that stuff. So I am into it. I have so many other games, man, to play that I'm loving here. So it's not a negative. It's just, yeah, if you were trying to figure out what games would give you the most replayability and you like that, that's what I'm saying. Cities VR is awesome for that, I'm guessing, because I haven't put enough time into it, but it already made me go, wow. I am super curious about Trip. If anybody in the comment section has played Trip, it is an expensive game. We're talking one of the most expensive games. So if it's up there with like the Resident Evil, that's $50. Resident Evil 4 is an $80 game. So the fact that it's the same price as that, please somebody tell me about Trip. Is it worth it? Like, really? I can't imagine that, but what if there is a ton of replayability? What if there is some sort of weirdness to it that's just so like awe-inspiring? Hard to say. Please somebody let us know. That'd be great. So I just wanted to get this out as fast as possible. Thank you everybody for watching. If you liked the video, please click that like button. And if you love my content, please subscribe to my channel. And for all of you that have subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. I super appreciate it. Until the next one.
PlayStation